Do you see now the difference in our power?
So I briefly want to talk about these two leaks for games that I am interested in. The first one is Marvel's Rivals. This is a game that I've been playing since release and it's very fun. I've been jumping around between character to character ever since Doctor Strange got nerfed and he can no longer put portals at the door immediately when the game starts. I kind of dropped the character. Now I'm kind of playing that Samurai Girl, Jeff, and Loki, a couple other characters, right? But you have a leak that is, I don't know how credible this is, but it has 1.9 million views on Twitter and it has 34,000 likes. So that's a lot of people talking about this. And they have a list of characters who will seemingly be coming to this game. Ultron, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Blade, Invisible Woman, The Thing, Captain Marvel, Hit Monkey, I don't know who that is, and Angela, Emma Frost, Jean Grey, The Hood, maybe Ghost Rider, and then Deadpool. So a lot of great names here. We're not seeing any Thanos. This is something that people wanted as well. Doom is something that people are interested in because you have the new Marvel movie coming up. But then you also have like a lot of other X-Men like Cyclops and whatnot. So this is a good list of characters. Ultron definitely interesting. Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch. Okay, that's weren't they supposed to make a new Fantastic? And is that what they're preparing for? Because I see the Blade here, and I know that was probably supposed to coincide with the Blade movie, but that Blade movie is canceled. It's interesting to look at Marvel's Rivals and how like intertwined it is with like the movie franchise, and also how much it will carry because the Marvel legacy has been kind of trash ever since the pandemic, and this game is doing a good job of making a comeback. And also you could talk about X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. That's a good show. So some of these characters making their way into the game would be really, really cool. Like a character like Ghost Rider is so fire, but he's not really talked about that much. And that's what I like about this game as well. When they do characters like Punisher and stuff, it's a lot of great characters in the MCU. And this game is doing a good job of putting them all together. Now, Deadpool, a character that I love as well. I'm really interested in Hit Monkey. I played Black Myth Wukong, so the monkey, archetype is really on my mind. But who knows what that character will be. Captain Marvel, pass. Angela, she's cool. Emma Frost, legendary. Jean Grey, fire. But yeah, Invisible Woman, that's pretty interesting. But here's the leaks for Marvel's Rivals. I don't really have too much more to say about that. Let's move on and talk about this other thing. So you guys are probably well aware of the game Virtua Fighter. I'll let this play on loop. They showed a little bit of gameplay at the Game Awards and it got a lot of people excited. It looks incredible. The layout of the stage is also intriguing because they're fighting in the open space and you have all of these like little boxes and like a moped back there. What happens if you push the person into that? Do they hit it? Is there an invisible wall creating a circle or a square? I just want to see how much will the characters interact with the environment and how will that impact gameplay and like the situations you could get into, because in Tekken, when you talk about stages, it plays a very big point. Where you're standing is so important, which is why characters are always trying to move around. And the same is true for this game, but with how detailed everything, you just wonder, will they do it again, right? Now, we didn't get that much of a look at this game, which is why this leak that appeared is so fascinating. One, it looks like kind of different. Well, it looks low resolution. It looks like worse quality, but I think this is because it's a leak, right? This is something that we're not supposed to see. Leaks usually look worse. But when you look at this, it's so fascinating. So both of these are Akira, so you can see it's the same character. And the Akira with his outfit all black, that's pretty cool. He looks like he's throwing like a kick with his right leg or something like that. But then the one on the left is ultra buff, ultra ripped. He's wearing the white karate pants. This is kind of like reminiscent of his old outfit. He's just missing the top. But how buff he is, me personally, I'm not too much a fan of it. I like the characters to have more realistic portions. I think save all the super buff aesthetics to like Street Fighter and like even Tekken, right? I like the way that Mortal Kombat does their characters, where the characters have somewhat realistic features. This looks very cartoonish in an environment that is very realistic, which makes it kind of weird. Now, when you talk about these characters having different outfits, I haven't played like Virtua Fighter really in like a long time, so I don't know how deep the customization will be for this game, if they'll go the path of Tekken or Street Fighter, which is basically full customization or just outfits. But That's not what has people talking about this. What people are really talking about when it comes to this screenshot is the health bars. It's very minimalistic. You have a very nice silhouette there. I love when games keep it as simple as possible. But then you also have what appears to be a round count or something of that sort. And then you have these bars. We don't know what these are. People are saying that it could be anything from like a true meter, or it could be something like a stamina bar. Now, if it is a stamina bar, will it operate like it does in Street Fighter 6, where once you break your drive gauge, you could take chip damage, you could get splattered against the wall, all kind of stuff? Will it be something like that, where once you burn out all your stamina, you're more like you're in more danger and you should start like either playing more conservative or really clutch up? Will that be the case, or will this be what the other people are saying and be some kind of like enhancement? Tekken 8 introduced a lot of like basically the heat meter to its game, and that thing is completely taken over. Tekken, the gameplay that players know and love, was completely swallowed by heat. And then when you talk about Street Fighter and the drive system, even though I think it's better implemented than the Tekken heat system, it's still a very like over like coming like mechanic. So when you look at this and you wonder stamina or meter, I would much rather stamina, because I think there's a lot more interesting things to work around there, and would also tie into the idea of this game being ultra realistic. But then when you think about meter, me personally, I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about enhanced attacks or forced attacks or aggression. This is why I'm excited for this game, but I'm not super excited, because we've seen multiple fighting games already that put these like super aggressive, fast-paced mechanics in the game, and it's just having varying effects. And I don't want to see that happen to another game like Virtua Fighter. Players have been waiting a very long time for this game, and I don't want it to fall victim to a lot of the things that the other fighting games are doing. Right? You can talk about battle pass, you can talk about meter, you could talk about simplification, easy to use. So I am still excited for this game, but I'm also like raising my eyebrows, like what's going on over there, right? So this is pretty interesting